So this is an episode which was actually one of the worst SpongeBob episodes of season 7, and if you don't know this episode, it is called A Pal for Gary. Anyways, let's get started. So it all starts at SpongeBob's house where he was feeding his pet snail Gary. He had to leave to work, but Gary wants to go for a walk. But SpongeBob tells him that he doesn't have enough time to give him one, and sadly walks away to work, feeling remorseful that he has no time to hang out with his best pet, Gary. Okay, so what happened is that when SpongeBob gets off at work at night, he finds a pet in a cage, but he doesn't realize that he will be in danger. Alright? But he names it Puffy Fluffy. However, Puffy Fluffy and Gary became nemesis, and as a punishment, Gary was put to sleep early tonight next to Puffy Fluffy. In the morning, SpongeBob finds that Puffy Fluffy has been turned into a monster. SpongeBob doesn't know this fact, but Puffy Fluffy gets scolded by him because, he was a monster and he destroyed SpongeBob's pineapple, including his clothes. Gary had to save his best pal SpongeBob before he got eaten, and actually walks away in vain. SpongeBob apologizes to Gary for accusing him for his violent behavior, and Gary gets back to work the next day. Now I just say that Puffy Fluffy actually did attack Gary while SpongeBob left the room. Whenever SpongeBob comes back, Puffy Fluffy actually returns to his cute state, and Gary takes the blame. I just say that episode was actually the worst, Okay, it's actually featured in this Wikipedia, the infamous episode. Yes, I know SpongeBob didn't cry in that episode. As a playmate for Gary, SpongeBob wasn't present. The new pet actually terrorizes Gary, thinks Gary was being mean to it. It was actually notorious to put Gary through this torture. It was actually a written version where Sylvester and Porky Pig had these episodes from Looney Tunes, such as Claws for Alarm, where Sylvester had to keep Porky safe from danger. However, SpongeBob is actually obvious that everything that is happening around him was going to be explained when you read along. SpongeBob isn't really an idiot. However, he tends to leave his pet Gary alone. He tends to get a pal for Gary because he felt upset. And Gary's been doing fine. He never minded being alone. He finds a store with nudie brands. It was owned by a merchant, but he ignores her warning about Puffy Fluffy and steals him without paying him. I'll just say that yes, I would definitely give this episode maybe a 5 out of 10. Just say that this episode has a lot of nightmares, especially from the episode warming. And eventually, if you kids watch these episodes, yes, I would just say that Puffy Fluffy was actually a cute nudie branch. However, he decides to blame Gary. So Puffy Fluffy actually tries to eat SpongeBob until his owner saves him. But SpongeBob gets angry and Gary knows that it's not his fault. However, as a new job, Gary was allowed to work at the Krusty Krab. Well, I just say that episode at least ended with just kind of a happy ending. I'm really not 100% sure if, Gary's gonna go back to work and flip Krabby Patties, okay? I'm not really 100% sure. Kind of, sort of, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, that's all.